This portion is brought to you by the new Petron XCS Complete Combustion System. Fuel your drive.
At the half of Game 2 of this semi-final showdown between Ginebra and Red Bull, Ginebra is leading but not by much. Just a 6-point advantage against Red Bull, 55-49. As we welcome you back to the Big Dome, Miko Halili kasama si El Decano, Senyor Quinito Henson. Are you at all surprised that, you know, it's obvious that Adam Parada is still now 100%, but Ginebra can't shake off Red Bull in this game?
Oh, I have a feeling that Red Bull is somehow controlling the tempo. No? It's ironic to say that because right now, Ginebra is up ahead by 6 points, and they have scored a lot more fast break points. But somehow, Ginebra has not been able to dictate as well as it should because Parada only has 4 points and 4 rebounds.
And well, to really get into the meat of what happened in the first half, let's look at the Dean's List. So take out your pen and paper. I promise you we'll have a quiz after halftime. So tingnan natin the Dean's List for the first half.
Okay, unahan natin ang Barangay Ginebra. Alexander, the first option. That's a check mark because he has dominated Parada sa kanilang matchup. Although, hindi talaga siya nagiging first option dito ng Ginebra. Ginebra is going to the guards as their first option in offense. Now, staying home on gunners, Kings 4 out of 14, but Morocco has scored one more 3-point conversion. So I would have to say X mark on that, even if the Moroccos are shooting less than 30% from 3-point distance. Second unit continuity, that's a plus mark for Ginebra. But then, the difference is not that big. It's just a +4 for Ginebra in terms of bench scoring.
So that is the Dean's List for Ginebra. Let's go over to the Red Bull side. They must be doing something right because, well, apparently parang hindi. Panay-X yan.
Although 2 out of 3 checks for Ginebra, those check marks, hindi masyadong malalaki yung difference. So, and that's why I think Red Bull is still in the game. Even as we score 3 X marks for Red Bull, no? Inside-outside attack, well, that's probably a half a check mark because the perimeter points, Morocco has more than Ginebra, but the inside points, ang laki ni diferensya in favor of Ginebra, 30-14. And that's because parang Red Bull has no post threat with Adam Parada scoring only 4 points. No easy baskets. In terms of offensive rebounding, that's what Ginebra has done so far. In second chance points, sila na lang may advantage. And that means somehow Red Bull's defense not able to get it done. And end-to-end pressure sa turnovers, at points of turnovers, lamang din ang Barangay Ginebra, and that's why that's also an X mark for Red Bull.
And that was your Petron XCS halftime report.
This portion was brought to you by the new Petron XCS Complete Combustion System. Fuel your drive.
Muli po, ito ang ikalawang laro sa Best of 7 series sa pagitan ng Red Bull at Ginebra. This is Chapter 2 ng Royal Rambulan. One team gunning for domination and the other seeking redemption after a lopsided game in the first chapter of what promises to be an epic series between two epic rivals. Ginebra and Red Bull, both physical, high-octane, intense, and emotional teams.
You know, one explanation, Migo, kung bakit hindi masyado nakakalayo dito ang Barangay Ginebra is I think Coach Joseph Vichico is trying to play Coach Yeng Giao's game. And, you know, he's not used to that. He's trying to distribute the minutes of his players. You have Mark Agiwa with only 14 minutes played in the entire first half. And he's trying to deepen his rotation when he's not providing big minutes for his nucleus.
Well, he did not get a big first half from JJ Helterbrand, who just hit a TM3 trying to get his game going here in the second half. Parada is fouled and he will take 2. Second personal against Alexander. Let's find out what the teams discussed in the halftime powwow from Eric Reyes.
Well, Miko, I just checked on Barangay Ginebra at sabi sa akin ni Assistant Coach Juno Soler, well, they have to adjust yung kanilang zone defense because ito nga si Adam Parada, lahat yung mga players sila masyado nagko-concentrate. Nalilibre ngayon sila Reed Hontilla, even sila Leon Horda, Cyrus Baguio. Para sa Barangay Ginebra, they really have to work on that defense because they cannot get all the other players involved. And then once si Parada daw mag-init, magiging problema pa. Para naman sa Red Bull, well, they're not really satisfied with their level of play. Sabi nila, para daw silang hindi naglalaro sa semifinals. They have to up that level one notch higher in order for them to match up against Barangay Ginebra. Nico?
Well, this, Red Bull can't wait for an emergency situation just to get their game going, as a foul is spotted by referee Garci Ferrer. It's against Adam Parada.
Well, excellent report by Eric, no? Because yung playing a notch higher, I think that really refers to Adam Parada. And as far as the other report ni Eric about the Red Bull local stepping up, yes, Juntilla, Nahorda, and Baguio all scored in double figures in the first half, and that should challenge the interior defenders ng Barangay Ginebra, because a lot of those points were coming also from the inside. Although the perimeter points, I think Coach Yeng Giao must be very happy with the performance of Red Bull in the first half.
So we're still in the early moments of the third quarter. Lamang na ng siyam na puntos ang Ginebra, 60-51, as Mick Penisi uncorks. Rebound para kay Alexander. Here comes Helterbrand. Helterbrand of Mamaril!
Surprisingly, Junti Valenzuela, who started in this game, is not in the first five. The coach, Joseph Ichico, starting the second half, and it's Sunday Salvacion inside instead.
Here's Parada. Nice fake. And Parada would have been better off taking that shot.
He's having second thoughts whether to go up for that shot or not. So I think he's having a problem here of confidence, and it's stemming from the hamstring injury that he sustained back in game number 1.
Here's Helterbrand, baseline, yes sir! And now Helterbrand beginning to hum. Look out, Skyros Baguio!
Ang bilis!
At least kanya walang delay yung flights, ano? Tuloy-tuloy.
That's a coast-to-coast drive by Skyros Baguio. At kung sino man ang nakabantay doon kay Skyros, you have to be on top of his game all the time.
So si Sunday Salvacion ang tinawagan ng foul as we enter this 30-second timeout for Red Bull.
And that's also the reason kung bakit ginagamit ngayon ni Coach Joseph Ichico si Salvacion instead of Junti Valenzuela. He cannot afford Valenzuela to get into foul trouble at this stage. At kung babantayan si Skyros Baguio, that is likely to happen.
Well, Skyros Baguio, take a ride on my magic carpet. This happened back in the first half with a no-look layup. That's our boy Coke shot, brought to you by Coca-Cola. Lahat ng shots magaganda at walang katulad, kaya ang buhay Coke, buksan mo. Baguio fails to complete the three-point play. And lamang pa rin ang Ginebra, 64-53. 10 minutes remaining in the third period. Here's Helterbrand, look out!
Well, he's on fire.
15 points for J.J. Helterbrand as Adriano hits the basket, then hits the deck, pero meron siyang bonus free throw.
When nag-switch dun si Sunday Salvacion, hindi niya napigil ang kanyang momentum. Ang napapansin natin dito, while Parada has been very inactive offensively, si Alexander has not been dominating. We expected him to be the first office offensa ng Ginebra. And Coach Joseph Ichico, well, rightly so, he's going with his guards. But you would expect a lot more from Alexander, realizing that Parada is not 100%.
Baguio with a steal against Helterbrand.
Got it back. Ay, siya na nagdadala rito, no? He's Red Bull's take charge guy.
And he is keeping Red Bull within shouting distance. And Salvacion fires. Salvacion still ice cold from Rainbow Country. Ito na si Reed Juntilla, provided quality minutes in the first half. And he makes the basket.
And what a screen set up there by Adam Parada to give him the space to move inside. Walang katakot-takot. Reed Huntilla, you see that slight screen given by Adam Parada para mabigyan ng opening si Reed Huntilla.
You know, if Reed Huntilla was going to make an impact in the PBA, it's going to be with Red Bull. He's in the perfect team. Because Reed Huntilla, if you've watched him in the PBL, he's a no-conscience shooter. He will shoot when he needs to shoot, whether it's in the first second of the game or the last second of the game. He will never show any hesitation.
At nabibigyan ng pagkakataon. Look at that pick and roll situation. Perfectly executed.
8-point game para sa Ginebra. Here's Adriano, and Junti Valenzuela crashes to the ground. It's an offensive foul against Adam Parada, kanyang pangatlo. At here's another look at that play.
Well, gumalaw eh. Gumalaw si Adam Parada. You saw that play. He turned around, causing that contact. That's a good call.
Meantime, here's Kagiwa. Artadi with 10 to shoot. Artadi on the move. Here's Mamaril firing away. And Alexander will get the easy putback. Alexander now with 14 points.
You can afford Billy Mamaril taking those outside shots. Kasi nandun si Chris Alexander to take care of the offensive rebound just in case he misses.
Third person na laban kay Alexander, who now has 14 points and 14 rebounds. But he will send Adam Parada to the line with 8:25 remaining dito sa third quarter.
Parada played for the Mexican national team in the last tournament of the Americas. One of his teammates, Eduardo Nájera of the NBA, from the University of California at Irvine. Same school that produced Tony De La Cruz.
On the floor para sa Ginebra, Mark Kagiwa, Paul Artadi, Billy Mamaril, Chris Alexander, and Junti Valenzuela. And Artadi with 18 points, his first 2 points in the second half.
You know, Kagiwa is going to have a field day scoring because he's going to get those passes from Artadi. Artadi meron ng 4 na assists sa game.
Pero si Junti may apat na fouls. And that's going to be a problem. Dahil napakaaga pa rito sa third quarter, sending Cyrus Baguio back to the line.
Yun ang sinabi ko kanina, no, kung bakit pinasok muna ni Coach Joseph Ichico si Sunday Salvacion instead of Valenzuela to start the third period because of the impending foul trouble. Nangyari na nga. And that's why Helterbrand has been sent back in very quickly. So now you go back to the Fast and the Furious backcourt with Helterbrand and Kagiwa. Actually, Kagiwa is playing number 3 now. So it's a small combination on the floor for Ginebra. Small but speedy.
Here's Adriano. And Parada will get the putback. Adam Parada now with 10 points in the game. Not that many rebounds though para kay Parada. Only 5 so far. Here's Alexander. 6-point game para sa Ginebra. And the loose ball is picked up by Mamaril. And he is fouled. Second person na laban kay Kiko Adriano. 7:36 remaining here in the third period as Artadi uncorks. Here's Baguio, Huntilla. Huntilla on the move, back to Baguio. Baguio for 3. Yes, sir! TF3 for Cyrus Baguio. And he has 20 big points to lead the way for Red Bull, trying to stay in the game here in the semifinals.
only one game, and one game doesn't mean anything.
Red Bull's a tough team, and winning this first game don't mean nothing.
Because every game we can win is a big game, but we want to win the first one and set the tone. They probably been a little rusty, you know, they hadn't played in a few weeks, so, you know, next game, they should be ready, you know, and we're going to be ready as well.
Mahaba yung layoff, nagiging rusty, hindi alam kung ano pa yung mga plays, pero alam ko, next game, babawi talaga sila sa atin.
We got to come out focused and ready to defend whatever they throw at us. We're going to have to match their intensity and go above that.
Ginebra seems to be right. They're facing a Red Bull team that's really poised to try and even this series. Just a 3-point game para sa Ginebra as we near the 7-minute mark of the third quarter. Alex Cresano is in the game para sa Ginebra. And here's Artadi with a looper. Adriano had nowhere to go. Here's Artadi on the move. Artadi over to Alexander.
Oh, what a play. And that is getting the crowd going. Transition. Ang ganda naman, no? Pasahan. And Artadi, again, fueling the break.
Here's Baguio with a nice move to the basket. And that will temporarily silence the Barangay inside the big dome. Here's Hilterbrand, and that's a three-pointer and a foul.
They call the foul on Nick Penisi. He made contact at the release. Ito yung nangyari kanina, yung looper over the outstretched arms of the Red Bull defenders. At matatawagan yata ng technical foul si Nick Penisi. Ito yung perfect pass break play. Touches and going to the man in the middle.
Okay, what do we have here? Is this an official's timeout? Officials are reviewing something here. Remember, we just came off that three-pointer by Hilterbrand. We saw a foul, a personal foul by Big Penisi.
Upon the release of that three-point shot that connected, I thought it was a technical foul. Wala palang technical foul, no?
They're probably checking if it was a two-pointer or a three-pointer. That's my guess.
Well, I would think that's the only cause that's making the referees think twice about the call. Now they're going to make the call. Ito yung play kanina with Skyrus Baguio moving in for that layup shot. Okay, they just confirmed the three-point basket. Oh, walang foul.
Okay, there's no foul. They call it, they said it was an inadvertent whistle. So
Okay,
there's no foul. So it's a three-point basket for JJ Hilterbrand.
Walang foul yun, mga kaibigan.
Okay, action continues here as we near the halfway mark of the third quarter. 8-point lead para sa Ginebra. Ginebra on a tear here so far. Here's Dutzil, cross court, Puntilla for three, air ball. And boy, you know, Artadi has been the man of the moment here para sa Ginebra.
I think nag-switch yung defense doon ng Barangay Ginebra. Look at that crossover ni Artadi.
Once again, it's Artadi who is making the plays for Ginebra.
That's right, and it's Kagiwa making the shots.
Here's Artadi once again. And lightning hits a brick wall. That's what happens when lightning hits a brick wall. It stops.
And Nick Penisi stopping Artadi from advancing. Ito, tingnan natin.
And the door is shut.
Bagsak si Artadi. Well, that stopped the possible transition play by Barangay Ginebra.
Here's Artadi. And that is intercepted. Here comes Baguio on the move. Baguio all the way for two. It's a shootout here in the third quarter. And
Baguio so aggressive going to the hole.
Baguio now with 24 big points para sa Red Bull. 5 minutes to go in the third period. Helterbrand for 3. Yes, sir!
Mainit pa. Hanggang ngayon, Helterbrand has scored 13 points here in the third period.
I believe a technical foul is called here. Oh, there's another technical foul. Hindi tayo nagkakamali, parang dalawang technical foul yung tinawag dito, but we'll double check. Garchi Ferrer making his way to the official stable.
Foul number 44, Chris Alexander.
Alexander with the foul.
Chris Alexander for the center of the foul.
At may technical foul against Alexander.
Okay, so it's one technical foul against Alexander after he was assessed a personal foul, which happens to be his fourth. He was given a technical foul for his protestations.
Delikado yan, partner, because we've got 4 minutes to go, 4:51 to go here in the third period. We've got a whole fourth quarter left. May 4 na personal foul na si Alexander. You know how important he is for Barangay Ginebra. Ipapalitan ngayon ni Coach Joseph Wichico si Alexander ni Rafi Rives. They don't want Alexander picking up his 5th personal foul here in the third quarter. So importless ngayon ang Barangay Ginebra. May 15 points na si Baguio dito sa ating third quarter. Make that 16 points.
For a grand total of 27 points. What a game para kay Baguio. Keeping Red Bull within shouting distance as Rives sends the ball back to Kagiwa. They swing it over to Helterbrand from the same spot and the same result. TM3 na naman for Helterbrand who has 24.
Helterbrand and Baguio, 16 points each here in this third period.
Baguio, look out! At that time, bola natapik, napulot ni Rayback, back to Baguio. Baguio bangs into Crisano.
Crisano just looked at Skyros Baguio. Akala ko he was going to apologize. Hindi, tinignan lang eh. At sabi niya,
makuha ka sa tingin. Sabi niya, paramihan na lang ng tato.
Sandali, akala ko ba giba ang bumangga? Yun ang tema natin sa Red Bull. And Baguio must have felt the impact of that collision with Alex Crisano missing his first free throw.
Lumipat yata yung ibang tato ni Crisano dito kay Baguio.
Oh, yun, ako. 2 missed free throws. Paderang binangga ni Baguio doon. Si Alex Crisano, no less.
4 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Lamang ang Ginebra, 87-76. Here's Kagiwa to Crisano. Back to Kagiwa. Kagiwa fires. And what's the call? It's an offensive foul against Crisano.
Offensive foul number 43, Alex Crisano. That's his second foul.
Red Bull on the offensive. Here's Parada to Huntilla. Huntilla to Rayback. Rayback forced to pass the ball. He threw it away. Here comes Artadi on the move. And wait a minute.
Talagang high energy itong Ginebra. And you notice, Barangay Ginebra sticking to that zone defense, but they're staying home on the gunners. So Rayback, no opportunity to get off that three-point shot. Extended ang kanilang zone defense kasi alam nila na shooters available here for Red Bull from the outside.
Here's Kagiwa. Fires. Overshoots. Baguio asking for that ball. He's had the hot hand here in the third quarter. Rayback. Here's Jojo Dunsil. And he is fouled. Oh! Extra motion coming from Crisano, and that was totally unnecessary.
Another call to flip, the technical. Giorgio Tunsil had a clear path to the basket, baseline drive. Well, Crisano's playing too emotional at this stage.
And, you know, Crisano really better off staying away from that Red Bull bench.
Eto, panoorin natin kung ano nangyari.
Foul on 43, Alex Crisano.
Collision.
Technical foul on Alex Crisano.
Look, a swipe.
Technical foul.
Akala yata
Giorgio
niya,
Tunsil.
akala niya siya si Nadal. Ginawang tennis ball yung bola. And it's a technical foul on Coach Yang Giao. But there was a flagrant foul or technical foul on Crisano for extra motion. Unnecessary motion, actually.
And he's not out of the game. He's still inside. On the way I see it, he's like a powder keg inside. He's ready to explode.
Yeah, ready to explode in both a good way and a bad way.
And Giorgio Tunsil, baseline drive. You know, it's funny that Alex Crisano tried to block that with his left arm, not the right. At nagkaroon sila ng collision upstairs. Ito, panoorin natin ulit. You see Crisano going up with the left arm and
You know, showing his serve and volley game. Baka pwede mo kalaro yan sa racquetball. Ganito.
ayun.
So after the move, and then slaps the ball straight into the face of Giorgio Tunsil.
At yan naman si Buba. Naku.
Ayan ang inspirasyon ni Alex Crisano. Always live wire presence here inside the big dome. And Alex Crisano also a live wire presence on the court. One thing you can never accuse Alex Crisano is, you know, not being energetic. He always brings in the energy. Sometimes too much energy.
You know, if I were to read that play, you know, another interpretation would be he was just frustrated.
Ay nagkataon yung mukha ni Tunsil nasa harap.
Oh, yun nga eh. He wanted to swat that ball away kasi
actually
hindi niya napigil eh.
Naghumingi na siya ng dispensa dito kay
He
Giorgio.
went over to Giorgio Tunsil and apologized. Kasi I don't think he really meant it.
Yes, because he told Tunsil, don't worry, if I mean it, you'll feel it.
And now Crisano is taken out of the game. It goes back to the bench.
Just maybe to cool,
I
cool
think
it first.
He's been ejected. He's been ejected. Na-eject si Crisano. Well, you know, as I said, no, another interpretation could be in his frustration. In his frustration, he swatted that ball away, and it just so happened nandun yung mukha ni Tunsil. Now, may technical free throw dito that Giwa will score because of Coach Yang Giao's technical foul. Now, the fact that he slapped that ball in the face of Giorgio, that deserves ejection.
Grounds for ejection.
That deserves ejection.
Whether
accidental or whether he wanted to just swat the ball away in frustration, it just so happened nandun yung mukha ni Tunsil at tinamaan. So, goodbye Alex Crisano for this game.
So, do I book him for your racquetball game?
Squash.
Okay. Should be a good sparring partner for you, my friend.
Yeah. But he'll need a racket. It'll be difficult for him to play with his hand.
Yeah, well, in that play, he didn't need a racket.
Pang volleyball, pwede.
So, early night para dito kay Alex Crisano.
2 free throws for Giorgio Tunsil.
So now we have 2 free throws for Tunsil.
Now, with the ejection, it means 2 free throws and possession, because that would mean a flagrant 2. It's in effect a flagrant 2. So it'll be 2 free throws here for Tunsil and ball possession for Red Bull. That's just to set the record straight. Now, Red Bull can ride on the momentum of this turn of events. At malayo pa ang ball game. Malayo pa tayo rito. Hindi pa tapos. 3:11 to go. In the third period, we've got a whole 12 minutes to go sa ating fourth quarter. Alexander with 4 personal fouls sitting on the bench. Parada still has to show his full potential here. He's only got 10 points with 5 rebounds. But with Alexander sitting on the bench, this can be the opening that Parada has been looking for all game long.
So one more free throw here for Jojo Duncil. Dahil flagrant 2, foul penalty 2, no? Flagrant 2.
So nagkaroon ng personal foul, 2 free throws. Tapos nagkaroon ng flagrant 2, another 2 free throws. Kanya 4 in total ang inattempt ni Jojo Duncil. Okay.
Eh, sulit naman pala yung pagsalo ni Duncil ng bola sa mukha niya.
Sulit na sulit. He just missed 1 free throw. Both teams are in the penalty.
So score natin, 88-79 in favor of Ginebra. Tuloy ang action dito.
And
here's an offensive foul against Parada.
You know, Artadi bounces off any pick set up by Red Bull. And if you're a big man setting the pick, you've got to stand your ground, because upon impact, your tendency or your impulse is to move. Kanya sila natatawagan eh.
Under 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Helterbrand for 3, and he is blistering here in the third quarter.
Oh, hindi pa ubos. Hindi pa ubos ang bala ni JJ Helterbrand. Patuloy ang kanyang paputok.
So team 3 na naman for Helterbrand as Jojo Duncil answers back with a scoring drive inside. He has 5 in the game. JJ Helterbrand with 27 points.
You know, with Duncil, Nahorda, and Skyros Baguio, those 3 players are so adept at breaking down the defense of the opposition.
Here's one more player, Felino Cruz.
Oh yes, got it done on the penetration. You know, kung hindi pumapasok yung mga 3-point shots ni Helterbrand, Ginebra could be in trouble right now. In fact, there's a little bit of momentum now going for Red Bull.
A miss by Kagiwa, rebound para kay Parada. 8 points ang inahabol ng Red Bull here in the remaining moments of the third quarter, but Felino Cruz throws the ball away. And we'll need this timeout with 1 minute and 46 remaining in a wild and woolly third quarter. Lamang pa rin ang Ginebra, 91-83 here in the third period. Back inside the big dome. Big PBA Wednesday crowd. They're all saying a beautiful evening to everybody watching this game. And guess who's having a beautiful game? JJ Helterbrand, who made a TM3 moments ago. Atid sa inyo ng bagong TM Discarte Sim, 30 pesos lang. May bagong diskarte ka na. JJ Helterbrand with 27 points tonight. Boy, he only had 8 points in the first half, and he has exploded for 19 in the third quarter alone, shooting 6 3-pointers in the game. What a conference so far for JJ Helterbrand. So under 2 minutes to go here in the third period, Ginebra trying to keep Red Bull at bay. And Helterbrand has been the man of the moment. This is that time, offensive rebound para kay Rivas. Here's Helterbrand on the move, bounce pass, make.
Is it now with a 41 Mike Rayback, that's his second foul. TJ goes for Eric Mink.
Eric Mink 10 points away from joining the 5,000 point club.
Wala ka 10 points si Eric Mink sa game number 1. But so far, yung kanyang offensive game, no, yung rhythm ni Mink hindi po bumabalik. But, you know, as far as Coach Joseph Ichico is concerned, he must be happy because he's finally getting his full complement of players together for this run at the title. Ito patuloy yung zone defense ng Ginebra. Ito yung inside-outside attack na sinasabi natin na kailangan ng Red Bull. And as far as perimeter points are concerned and inside points, ito mga kaibigan, Barangay Ginebra with the edge on both counts.
Meantime, Nahorda with a sidestep beauty. He fails to finish. Under a minute remaining dito sa third quarter. At lamang ng 7 na puntos ang Ginebra, 92-83. Bola naka Helterbrand. Helterbrand red hot in the second half. And Rivas scores off that nice pass.
Well, that's what happens when you're red hot. You draw the defense towards you, and when you know that you don't have a shot, you pass it off to an open teammate. That's J.J. Helterbrand.
Here's Kagiwa. Salvacion twirls, misses, misses, and the ball ends up with Celino Cruz, and everybody on their feet inside a big dome. Here comes Celino Cruz over to Rayback. Back to Celino Cruz, 20 seconds remaining in the third. 14 to shoot para sa Red Bull. They're trailing by 11 points. Here comes Nahorda, he attacks and misses. That's going to be last touch on Parada. This will leave Ginebra with 8 seconds to work with before the end of the third quarter.
And Ginebra managing to stave off Red Bull with Alexander sitting on the bench.
6 seconds to go. Helterbrand has the ball. Helterbrand with 27 points. Salvacion put back. So after a highly entertaining and supremely intriguing third quarter, lamang pa rin ang Ginebra, 94-83 laban sa Red Bull. Ginebra trying to build a commanding 2-0 lead. Red Bull trying to bounce back in the semifinal series. Fourth quarter coming right up. Round 1 ng Royal Rambulan was a one-sided fight. Ginebra delivering the knockout blows early in the game. At hindi na nakabangon mula sa sahig ang Red Bull. The Red Bull, a proud team, will try to bounce back. Will try to equalize the series with a big win tonight. This game has been physical. Malalaman natin in one more quarter. May rest back ba ang Red Bull, or will it be back-to-back wins for Ginebra here in Game 2?
Well, sa ating pag-umpisa ng fourth period, Alexander checks back in. And looking to stretch their all-time franchise longest streak to 10. Eh kasi 9 game winning streak na ang Barangay Ginebra. And there's Coach Joseph Chico. Nabati natin lahat ng mga nasa fitness centers. Those who are doing the treadmill right now. Alam namin, nakatutok kayo sa PBA. Pinanonood nyo ang TV while you're doing your treadmill. Kasama na yung aking isang anak, si Christina. Nagte-treadmill kayo, pinanonood tayo.
Ingat lang sa treadmill habang nanonood. Baka mapatigil kayo.
Papaliya kayo tuloy.
Meantime, loose ball foul spotted by Garci Ferrer. It will go against Red Bull. As we welcome you to the payoff period. Kami po nagagalak na makasalo kayong lahat dito sa PBA semifinals. Nico Halili kasama si El Decano, Senyor Kenito Henson, Eric Reyes, and Marga Vargas. Reporting live from the Big Dome, and here's Alexander as we send you over to Eric Reyes.
Well, Miko, nakikita natin yung pesky defense si Celino Cruz and J.J. Helterbrand. Sabi ni Coach Cheng, kahit daw makakashoot yung mga players ng Barangay Ginebra, basta just keep on the pressure. Pero yun nga lang, you leave yourself open to mga, drive-in plays like ginawa ni Sunday Salvacion. Pero sabi nga ni Coach Cheng, he doesn't mind that as long as you just keep on the pressure offensively. Sabi nga niya, they really have to attack from the post. That's why they're trying to get itong si Adam Parado going. Expect the outside shot. Sinabi niya sa kanyang mga players, pag napasahan kayo, be ready to shoot. Nico?
Well, salamat Eric Yengyao and rest of Red Bull Barako. Trying to keep Ginebra from pulling away in this game. Especially with the way Helterbrand has been playing here in the second half.
Nico, just a note on Sunday Salvacion. Coach Joseph Chico sticking to Sunday because of his defense and his outside shooting capability. He's 0 out of 6 before that shot, and that gives you, a player the confidence boost from your coach in sticking with you even if you're having a bad night offensively.
Salvacion in motion. Bounce pass it intended for Rivas. Naagaw ni Celino Cruz. Cruz on the move. Cruz all the way. Nahorda's putback no go. And Alexander's foul, and that could go against Parada.
Switching down number 55, Adam Parada. Substitutions, Cyrus Baguio for Dr. Brazil and Paul Artadi.
And indeed, it was against Parada. At ang mabigat dyan, yun po ang panglimang personal foul ng import ng Red Bull. Pinisi is set to come in to replace the foul-beleaguered Parada.
Ito, pansinin natin ang kombinasyon na ginagamit ni Coach Joseph Chico ngayon. It's not Artadi and Kagiwa, it's Artadi and Heltebrand now because Heltebrand has been waxing hot. And look at the way Alexander just attacked the defense ni Parada with 5 personal fouls.
Here's Baguio. Celino Cruz, open shot. Critical juncture here para sa Red Bull with Ginebra threatening to pull away with 10 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter.
Very vital yung outside shooting ng Red Bull.
They'll clear out. Here's Alexander once again outside. Salvacion. Here's Artadi. He'll take that shot. No go. That would have brought the house down. Pero bagong shot lock ito para sa Ginebra. And they'll go again to Alexander as they try to fish for the 6th foul of Parada.
And what about Rafi Reeves' offensive rebound, giving Ginebra another chance at the basket?
Heltebrand for 3. In and out. Here's Baguio. Slicing through.
Wala lang makakapagpigil sa kanya. You know, the important thing is you keep the ball away from his hands. You have to play denial on Skyrus Baguio. Once he puts the ball on the floor and he's going straight to the hole, who can stop him? Here's an offensive foul against Alexander. Palima na yan ni Alexander the Great.
What a development here para sa Ginebra. You know, they're trying to get the 6th and last foul of Parada, but now they end up in the same boat. Yung import nila, 5 fouls na rin.
That's right. Not just an 11-point lead with 9-12 to go. A string of 3-pointers from Red Bull, and you know they're capable of that. Can whittle down this lead to almost nothing. And talk about 3-point shooting ng Red Bull. They've got Penisi, Rayback, Celino Cruz, and Baguio in the game all at the same time. All of them shoot better than 34% from 3-point distance.
98-87 lamang ang Ginebra. Here's Alexander. Heltebrand short. Reeves with another offensive rebound. Bagong shot clock na naman para sa Ginebra.
Yan ang mabigat sa Barangay Ginebra. Even if Alexander is not getting you the offensive rebounds, there's help rebounding on the weak side from Rafi Reeves.
8.5 remaining in Game 2. At lamang pa rin ang Ginebra dito, 98-87.
Waffle time, the first, the original. And thanks to our radio partners, Magic 89.9, today's best music, 103.5 Max FM, your summer fiesta radio, in tune with Manila, Yes FM 101.1, Derecho 90.7, Love Radio, kailangan pa ba i-memorize yan?
PBA would like to thank the following sponsors, Delivery.ph and 3M Pizza.
Back in time for the resumption of the fourth quarter. That's a preemptive foul given up by Sunday Salvacion. Third personal against Sunday. First team foul laban sa Ginebra.
You know, a player who hasn't found his rhythm in this game is Junti Valenzuela because of foul trouble. Halos din nga natin nakikita si Junti naglalaro. He's logged only 17 minutes with 6 points, 4 personal fouls.
On cue, Jong Wichigo taps the shoulder of Junti to try and send him back in the game.
I think it's important that he's in the game now because they need a stabilizer. Maatake yun ng Red Bull. Take a look at this factor. You know, easy baskets, offensive rebounding, barangay 90 na. And that's leading to second chance points, usually putbacks.
Here's Mamaril. Salvacion putback is good, plus a foul.
And Coach Joseph Wichico is being rewarded by sticking with Salvacion in the game despite a 0-6 start shooting from the field.
Si Reed Huntilla ang tinawagan ng foul is 4th personal. Yan po pang-apat laban sa Red Bull. There's Jong Wichigo talking with Juno Sauler, one of his trusted assistant coaches. Five points in the game para kay Sunday Salvacion. At ito na ang pinakamalaking lamang ng Ginebra. 101-87. Here's Huntilla. It's going to be a loose ball foul against Mamaril. Second personal laban kay Big Mama. And Junti Valenzuela is back in the game to replace Sunday Salvacion. Ginebra, by the way, with only 2 team fouls so far. Sila po yung lamang ng 14 na puntos as Penisi and Coach. Defensive rebound for Rayback. Here's Nahorda. Nahorda.
And they call another foul on Mamaril.
Only foul on number 2, Billy Moreno. That's his 3rd foul, 3 on the Evergreens.
Both Parada and Alexander sitting on the bench with 5 personals, but Parada now is up on his feet. He's ready to check back in the next opportunity. Huntilla continues to score 16 points now for the rookie. Alam mo, yun ang good recognition na sinasabi natin. Wala naman yung si Chris Alexander, who's the shot blocker ng Ginebra. So the Red Bull is moving inside, closer and closer.
Apat laban kay Mick Penisi.
Big contribution, Iriv is off the boards or off the glass.
Van Heusen is the shirt of choice for the power dressers. Van Heusen dresses up the modern man endowed with distinction and a clear-cut sense of style. Van Heusen, best dress shirt. So both imports, despite teetering on the brink of falling out, are back on the floor with a full 7 minutes remaining in the game. Here's Huntilla. He's played well para sa Red Bull, but he throws the ball away. And that's a preemptive foul given up by Mick Penisi.
Now we're waiting for the call from the referees whether that was an advantage foul or not. Kung advantage foul yun, bibigyan ng 2 free throws.
It appeared like Ginebra was going on a 2-on-1 break.
But dapat no bad. Yeah, they call the advantage foul against Penisi, so they give the 2 free throws. Actually, after the foul, Kagiwa even made a motion as though he was going for the basket.
For a shot at half court.
At half court. But no need for that. It was very clear naman it was an advantage foul.
Mamaya, magharap muli ang Magnolia at Air 21. Magnolia will try to build a 2-0 lead. Air 21, meantime, will try to tie the series. And they have the import back. Stephen Thomas will be back in action for the Air 21 Express. Game 2 of their best-of-7 affair after this game. Alexander onside. Junti. Valenzuela on the move, but he loses the ball. But It's picked up by Rivas, and here's Artadi. Artadi with a runner. And no basket for Ginebra. Here comes Cyrus Baguio against Rivas, and it's a goaltending violation.
Well, good effort on the part of Rivas. Hinabol na yun. But I tell you, once Baguio is on the move, he is unstoppable. Ito, hinabol niya, oh.
Just a tad late.
Oh.
But Baguio now with 31 scintillating points. Keeping Red Bull in the game. Bola ngayon na kay Valenzuela. Cross court, Artadi with 6 to shoot para sa Ginebra. Artadi will try to make things happen. And the runner is no good. But he gets the ball back, and Rivas will score. Meantime, here's Baguio, a bit out of control. Napulot ni Nahorda. Nahorda with a reverse. Oh, it goes in.
What a beautiful shot.
14 points para kay Nahorda. He had 19 in game 1. He's been consistent here in the semifinals.
Alexander, the first option. Ito, ang puntos and rebounding ni Alexander, 18 to 18. He's a 20-20 player. Here's a steal.
And here's Baguio once again. But he loses the ball. And there's a foul called downstairs. Artadi trying to give up that foul. Oh, it's a kick ball. All right, it's a kick ball against Artadi. So no fouls called.
Sa pagod ni Artadi.
And he's all tuckered out.
Yeah, he just went straight to the sidelines and lay down.
Pagod din pala kidlat. So on the floor for Ginebra, Junte Valenzuela, Rafi Rivas, Chris Alexander, and the Fast and the Furious in the backcourt. 5 minutes to go in the game. And miscommunication that time, turnover. On the floor for Red Bull, Kairos Baguio, who has 31 points. Nick Benisi, Leo Nahorda, Adam Parada, who has 5 fouls, and Reed Huntilla. Missed by Nahorda. Here comes Ginebra on the run. Valenzuela on the move. Chris Alexander, handoff, Kagiwa.
And what a way to score. The assist coming from Alexander, the big man. He's supposed to be the finisher. He's supposed to be the recipient. Siya ngayon ang pumapasa.
Here comes Parada. Off the glass is good.
14 quiet points for the big man.
But you know, the two imports have given way to sterling performances from the locals. Notably Cyrus Baguio for Red Bull and JJ Elterbrand for Ginebra.
Well, more si Alexander, because you know that he's capable of putting up big numbers. But actually, he has big numbers. He's got 18 points. Yun nga lang, hindi siya yung first option dito eh. Kagiwa forced to give up the foul. Wala pa sa penalty ng Ginebra. Red Bull already in the penalty. Look at the time remaining.
4 minutes to go. Lamang pa rin ang Ginebra. 108-95 in game 2.
Alexander.
Yo! Abot-abot yun na sa dulo ng ating Coliseum. Cinema po! Alright, we have 2 more. Cinema! Alright, PBA fans, last one. Cinema.
For Chris Alexander, magmula nung siya'y dumating para sa Ginebra, he has been nothing but Alexander the Great. He is #1 overall in field goal percentage, #1 overall in rebounds. And he's showing us why. No surprises here. He's the best shot blocker in the PBA today. And because of him, Ginebra is on a 9-game winning tear. Chris Alexander tonight shooting 8 out of 10 with 18 points, 18 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 shot blocks. He had 16 points and 17 rebounds in Game 1. What more can you ask for from an import?
Saludo tayo. Kay
Saludo.
Alexander.
Saludo.
Kasi yun ang palagi niya ginagawa. Nagsasaludo. Here's the Horda. You know that inside attack ng Red Bull has held up with Nahorda, Baguio penetrating. Yun lang nagkukulang sila sa outside shooting and they have not been consistent in getting those outside shots. So yung inside-outside attack ng Red Bull medyo nagkukulang and I think they will call a foul, a loose ball foul. Si Penisi yata natawagan. That's it for him. It's over for Mick the Slick. And he held down. You watch it there. He held down. Naku, yun. He held down Billy Mamaril. That was very clear.
Unproductive night for Mick Penisi.
That's right. 0 out of 3 from the floor.
More fouls than points and field goal attempts.
He had 5 rebounds. So more fouls than rebounds as well. Rayback. Yan ang inaasahan ni Coach Yeng Yao, no? To be consistent from the outside. He's the league's #3 3-point shooter, hitting 40.6% from that distance. We're talking of Rayback, the radar. Etong free throws natin, no? A lot of free throws being given up by Ginebra for Red Bull.
If Ginebra holds on to win this game, they'll go up 2-0 in this best-of-7 series, unless Red Bull can come up with a comeback of biblical proportions here with 3:25 to go. As Rayback hits a 2-pointer.
And on cue, he just came in, Rayback the radar, hitting that outside shot.
10-point game dito sa Big Dome. Can Ginebra hold on to this 10-point lead? Here's Alexander, who is on the verge of fouling out. And he gets shot blocked by Parada. 5 to shoot for Ginebra, and it's a traveling violation against Valenzuela. So eksaktong 3 minuto ang nalalabi sa larong ito at lamang na 10 ang Ginebra. 109-99, but this will give Red Bull enough time for one last push to try and get back in the game. That was an open shot by Parada. He fakes, he drives, he misses.
Too strong, and he was all alone for that one. Look at Alexander, a gimme basket. Nagmintisun si Parada, wasn't able to get back down on defense. Nobody home.
What will Red Bull do to get back in the game with just 2:27 remaining as Parada scores on a turnaround? 16 points para kay Adam Parada. Still a 10-point cushion here para sa Ginebra as we approach the last 2 minutes of the ball game. Here's Alexander. Outside Kagiwa. Kagiwa on the move. Rebound for Parada. And that's a turnover. Tough break. That's a tough break para sa Red Bull. Ito na ang outlast 2 minutes. Atid sa inyo ng outlast maintenance-free batteries. Start agad.
Kapansin-pansin. Kasamang Miko, no, na si Valenzuela is on the floor because right now, Coach Joseph Chico wants stability from his lineup to preserve this lead.
So timeout muna para sa Ginebra. Lamang sila ng 10 with less than 2 minutes remaining in Game 2. Back inside the championship capital of Philippine basketball, the Araneta Coliseum, site of the PBA semifinals for the Fiesta Conference. Dito sa laban ng Ginebra at Red Bull, it appears Ginebra will go on to build a 2-0 series lead. Mark Kagiwa helping out in this cause with his No Fear fearless move of the game, brought to you by No Fear Underwear. Got the balls for it. Once again, you know, Quinito, Ginebra getting key contributions from several people. Topix Robinson, we did not see him.
That's right.
See action
Di pa naglalaro
tonight, but he is our My Phone Dual Life player. He's also a sportscaster aside from being a PBA star. Yan ang ating My Phone Dual Life player. Hatid sa inyo ng My Phone, 2 SIMs, 1 phone. Where's my phone? Our phones. 1:50 remaining, and Helterbrand holding on to that basketball up against Reed Juntilia. Here's Helterbrand. Valenzuela.
Oh, called for the violation. He's supposed to be the stabilizer. Turnover against Junti, giving Red Bull another opportunity.
Well, that will be the 5th team foul against Ginebra. So wala pang free throws.
That's his 4th foul and the first 3
Fourth personal laban kay Helterbrand, who is a leading candidate for our best player of the game.
But that's a penalty situation ng Ginebra.
Here's Baguio for 3. Oh, yes. Well, this is still
very manageable.
Within reach.
That's right.
TM3 yun para kay Baguio.
I thought in the previous play, nawala yung aggressiveness ng Ginebra, no? And that's giving Red Bull a little bit of hope here. And
here they go
again.
Here comes Juntilia. Baguio saves the ball. 1 minute and 9 to go. Baguio to Rayback. They're probably looking for a 3 here. Here's Juntilia to Baguio.
You know, they don't need a 3. They need to be able to hit the shot quickly. Big miss by Baguio. They didn't have the flow because the defense set up for the 3-point attempt.
Under 1 minute remaining in game 2. Ginebra holding on to a 7-point lead. Here's Kagiwa. Fires, misses. Bola na punta kay Nahorda. Red Bull is still in the game, no doubt. Juntilia for 3. And a long rebound is picked up by Baguio. And they need to score in a hurry. Here's Parada. No go. That should do it.
Sunod-sunod ang mantis ng Red Bull. Not getting the flow from their offensive players and the lack of consistency from the outside. That made the difference. At saka yung depensa ng Ginebra, Parada again showing signs of immobility in this game. So you wonder whether he's 100%. It's now 2-0 for Barangay Ginebra over Red Bull sa ating best of 7 semifinals.
Chris Alexander and the Gin Kings. Winners anew. Jong Wichigo is now 2 games ahead in this best of 7 affair. Yan ang final score, 111 para sa Ginebra, 104 para sa Red Bull. Ginebra leads this series 2-0. And we're about to introduce our TM3 King. Atid sa inyo ng bagong TM Discarte, same 30 pesos lang. May bagong discarte ka na, none other than JJ Helterbrand.
Oh, kita mo naman ang ginawa nyo. 6 out of 12 3-pointers for JJ Helterbrand. That's 6 out of the 9 converted by Barangay Ginebra from 3-point distance.
And here's our Gatorade game turning point brought to you by Gatorade. Is it in you?
Ito yung big miss ni Adam Parada. He was wide open for that shot, although he didn't have the angle. And that created an opportunity for an easy 2 points on the other end. Naka 20 points din si Alexander. Parada's player of the game, no other than JJ Helterbrand, 19 in the third period. I think that's 16 in the third period. But anyway, that's 27 points for JJ Helterbrand with 9 assists. And remember, he got into early foul trouble, but he certainly made up for lost time.
So once again, Ginebra now ahead 2-0 in this best of 7 affair. Nanalo laban sa Red Bull 111-104 here in game 2. Coming up next, game 2 between Magnolia and Air 21. Magnolia ang lamang sa seryeng iyan, 1-0, but Air 21 who has their import back. Pangalan ni Eric Reyes, Marga Vargas, Kinito Henson, I'm Miko Halili saying good night from the Big Dome, Vela Alto, Filipinas. This is the PBA on ABC.